Look at my babies here. I don't think you guys have ever met my kids. This is Shima and this is Kapenta. We got Kapenta 3 weeks ago. He is 12 weeks and he is just a cutie. For short, we call this one Shim Shim, and for short, we call this one Penta. He's just so cute. They're just the cutest. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Freelance Hoyle, and on this channel we focus on fashion, lifestyle, a little bit of traveling, and a little bit of home decor. If you've noticed, I have not posted a video in 2 months. So I am going to share with you guys why I have been missing. Listen, I haven't posted a video is because I was sick. And I'm just so blessed to be alive, to be back here doing what I love. I want to talk about something very, very important and that's really serious, that doesn't really get spoken about when it comes to Black women in their health care. What happened to me, I would not wish it upon anybody. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced, and with my body, and it's just, I'm still actually recovering from this. About 5 years ago, I had IUD. IUD is a form of, birth control. There's different ways of, there's different forms of birth control that you can take. However, for me, because of my congenital heart disease and pulmonary hypertension, I am limited to the birth controls that I can take. So I can't do like the Depo shot, I can't do the patch, I can't do the pill, because all those will form like blood clots for me because of my, my body, my what I have. I can't take that. So my doctors gave me 2 options. It's either have my tubes tied or have an IUD. And for me, having my tubes tied was definitely out of there was no way. That was not an option for me, because at the time I was not comfortable saying I'm 27 years old and my tubes are tied. For me, it was more like a mentally thing that I had to deal with. And plus, Mikey and I also do plan on having kids in the future. So the only other option I was left with was having an IUD. So there's either the copper one or you can do the hormonal one. I decided to go with the copper one because of my congenital heart disease and pulmonary hypertension. So I had that done in February. And when I had it done, I mean, at first it was fine. I was okay with it and whatnot. However, a few weeks later, I just started having so much pain. I've never been pregnant before. I've never given birth to anybody, but I felt like I was having contraction, like I needed to push something out. And it was just uncomfortable, super duper duper uncomfortable. I'll be driving and randomly I'll just have these sharp pains in my stomach and in my lower, oh my gosh, my lower back. It was just the most uncomfortable feeling. It was so painful. It would literally just paralyze me when I get those pains. So after going through all this, after a few weeks and experiencing this type of pain, I decided to contact my doctor at the time, and I told her hey, I don't think this IUD is working out for me. I am in so much pain. She told me you know what, it is okay. Your body is fighting it because this is a foreign object in your body. So your body is trying to fight it and stuff. You'll be fine. After a few weeks, your body will get used to it and you'll be okay. That was not the case in my story. My body was not okay with the IUD inside of me, and it was just so uncomfortable. I was in constant pain. TMI, even when my husband and I get intimate, sometimes he would feel my IUD, and it was just so not pleasant for me to actually have this IUD. However, I mean, no matter how many times I, would call and tell them this is not okay, they're no, it's fine, your body would get used to it. That was not the case. My body never got used to it. So I just for For 4.5 years, I lived with this type of pain, and I just like tolerated it. And it wasn't until one of my customers turned friend came into my store, and she was telling me about this new OBGYN UW that came in, and she's a woman of color, and she's phenomenal. And she had an appointment with her. Actually, it was snowing, and my friend needed a ride, so I took her to the appointment. And then she's like, yeah, like this lady's amazing and stuff. And I was like, wait, she's here. I mean, I go to UW for my appointments. So I was like, you know what? This is my chance. I need somebody who looks like me and, just to really understand what I'm going through. So I decided to book an appointment with her, and she was 3 months booked out. So I was like, it's okay. I'll wait for 3 months because something's not right. I know something's not right with my body. Anyways, 3 months passed by, and I went for my appointment, and she's like, so tell me what's happening. I went with Michael, and I was like, listen, I have an IUD that I had 4 years ago that was put inside of me. My body has not been the same. I'm very much always bloated. I've gained so much weight, and I'm always looking like I'm pregnant when I'm not even pregnant. And I mean, people, like, especially being on social media, people are always constantly commenting on my body. For some reason, my uterus is the most famous thing on all my platforms. Like, people are like, oh my God, you're glowing, you're expecting, you're this. And I'm just like, no, I'm not even close to being pregnant. And she's like, well, let's take a look. So I told her everything that I've been experiencing, being intimate with my husband with the IUD, just randomly like driving and having constant pain. So my doctor like literally laid me down on the bed and was like, she's like, let's check out your IUD and see how, it's placed and whatnot. So when she like looked at me underneath there, she's like, oh no. I mean, the doctor's saying, oh no. And she's like, your IUD was never placed right. That's why you have so much pain. And everything makes sense. Why you're in constant pain? Why you're always in constant pain? And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and then just like felt also, even though I was so mad, I felt a sense of relief because I was right. It just like, it validated everything that I was feeling. And like me being right about my body, about the IUD not being inserted in my body right. So it's just like, wow. Unfortunately, because of my congenital heart disease and pulmonary hypertension, she couldn't remove the IUD in the clinic. So she contacted my congenital heart disease and pulmonary hypertension doctors that I see at UW, and she was like, hey, I have free here. The IUD was never inserted right. Do we want me to remove it? You're like, no, she has to go to the OR room. So she was like, I hate to say this, but we're going to have to set up an appointment for you to go into the OR room to have this surgically removed. And I was like, are you kidding me? I have to wait a few more days to have this removed. And she's like, yeah, I am so sorry, but I just, due to your condition, I can't remove this. So I'm like, you know what? I understand, and I respect her for saying that. So I waited a week to have it removed. And even though the process of prepping for the OR room was so long, but for me to just have that IUD removed, it literally took 30 seconds. When my OBGYN removed that IUD, she like, as soon as she removed it, I felt a sense of relief down there and just like my whole body. Then she was like, well, while we're here, do you want us to insert a new IUD in? I said, hell to the fucking no. I don't want it. I don't want anything in my body. I just want my body to reset. I just want my body to go back. I don't want anything whatsoever in there. They're like, well, like, there's high risk of you if you, getting pregnant if you're not on, birth control. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want nothing in my body. So that was the end of that. I refuse to, be on any form of birth control because I'm so traumatized by what I've went through. After that, few months went by. Me and Mikey were out with our friends. We're having a nice dinner. I had a few drinks, came back home. I'm like, I'm going to go shower. and get ready for bed. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take a little first son out to go use the bathroom outside. He did that. He came back home to only find me on the ground in my bathroom. And he's like, Free, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm dying. He's like, stop playing. You play too much. I'm like, no, Mikey, I'm dying. My whole stomach is on fire. He's like, what? I'm like, no, Mikey, my whole stomach is on fire. Something is not right. I'm dying. He picks me up. He lays me on the bed. He gives me Tylenol. Nothing is working. I was like, Mikey, take me to the emergency room. I'm not okay. I'm dying. We get to the emergency room. They're like, okay, you have to sit down. We got to take some information. I'm like, I can't sit down. You guys, I need to be in a room. I can't sit down. Like, everything hurts. They found me a room. They laid me down. They asked me a whole bunch of questions. Mikey was answering for me because I was in so much pain I couldn't speak. Then after that, they started doing like ultrasound on me. And I'm like, they were like, is there any chance that you might be pregnant? I'm like, there's no way I am close to even being pregnant. And then the doctor who was doing the ultrasound was like, okay. Then he gets another friend of his, his co-worker, doctor, to come and look at me. And he did the ultrasound on me. He's like, are you sure you might not be pregnant? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, you think you might have ectopic pregnancy? I don't know if I'm saying that right. But that's what we think that you have, which is a pregnancy that's formed outside of your uterus. I'm like, gosh, no, there's no way I'm pregnant. And anyways, they like touch my stomach like this, like feel it and stuff. My stomach was like this, like far out. They're like, are you sure you're not pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm sure I'm not pregnant. They're like, your stomach is really bloated. And then like, when they tried to touch it like this, it was in pain. They're like I'm like in so much pain. So they decided they gave me morphine. And I tell you, I felt that from my head all the way to my toes. The morphine. I don't know how people like that feeling. Oh my gosh. I was like, Mikey, please hold my hand. The nurse was next to me. I was like, can you please hold my hand? I hate this feeling. I hate it. Then they came back for more testing. They're like, okay, we're going to go for you to do more like scans and x-rays and whatnot. So I did that, and I came back. The test results came back. We thought that you had an ectopic pregnancy, but actually what you had was a cyst a size of a grapefruit on top of your uterus. So that ruptured, and then you have internal bleeding in your stomach. That's why your stomach is on fire. Because I said fire. That's why your stomach is on fire and so much pain, and that's why your stomach is so bloated. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? They're like, yeah, we have to actually check you into the hospital. You're gonna be with us for a few days. We don't know how long, but you're gonna be here for a while. I was like, what? I was just mind blown. Coming to find out, that was caused because of my IUD that I had. So my IUD cost me almost my life. And even talking about it right now makes me so mad. It just makes me so upset even talking about it. Because I almost lost my life because a doctor did not listen to me when I said something was not right with my IUD in my body. I was checked into the hospital. I was there for 5 days. I was on morphine through the IV. I was on oxycodone. I was on Tylenol. They had me on some other stuff just to keep all the pain and everything my body was going through leveled. I was in constant pain. I couldn't walk. I couldn't eat by myself. I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't pee. I couldn't go number 2 by myself. I couldn't do nothing for myself. My mom, my husband, and my friend Miso, they were just taking turns taking care of me. I would not wish this upon anybody whatsoever. Wouldn't wish it upon anybody. And I don't even understand how people can be on those drugs either. Because, woo, child, those things are strong. And I hated every bit of it. I'm just so grateful that I'm here and I can talk about this, because I know there's some women who can't even talk about this. They have lost their lives because of not being listened to by their doctors. One thing I've learned going through this process is that, ladies, especially women of color, please advocate for yourself. Learn to speak up for yourself. If your gut is telling you that this doctor is not right for you, please listen to that. Please listen to it, because that could save your life. Unfortunately, in this country, women of color are not heard often when it comes to their health issues. So learn to advocate for yourself. Learn to advocate yourself. Please, please, I'm begging you. Like, somebody's not, you're not feeling their vibe, or they're not listening to what you need, move along to somebody else. Like, move along. And the other thing I've learned also is representation matters. Me finding a black OBGYN has also helped me, like, has helped save my life in a way, because she listened to me and all the needs, another concern that I had when it comes to my IUD. She listened and like checked everything that she needed to check, and I was right. That I was right all along. But I'm just glad that I'm here and I'm able to talk about it. And hopefully by sharing my story, I can help one person or two people. Right now, I'm not using any form of birth control because I just want my body to reset. I'm still recovering from everything that I have been through. And I'm just so glad to be alive and being able to share my story with you guys. I'm sweating just even talking about it, because I'm also pissed, because I'm just like, in my head, I'm reliving everything that I've been through for the past 3 months with my body. I'm still not the same. My stomach is still not the same. I'm still very much bloated, but it has come down a little bit. My stomach, like bloating, has come down a little bit. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm just glad to be alive. I am. I'm so glad to be alive. As always, thank you so much for coming back to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next video, because whoo, child, I am so mad. Bye, you guys.